What's up, everybody? It's me again. Sorry it's been a while. It's been a lot of moving pieces to my life as of late, and it's all just kind of caught up to me with this in this last week or so. I'm planning on moving to a different state here within the next 3 weeks or so. My great-grandfather transitioned to out of state as well. I'm doing a musical on the side, and then on top of that, have to do work and all of that fun stuff. So just a lot of moving pieces, just moving on right now. So I do apologize I didn't send an update video last week, but I'm going to be doing or putting out at least this video and another one tonight, just to kind of have some get the momentum kicking. All right, so this is my Journey series video. If this is your first time joining me, please make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe, because that helps the channel out. We're over 100 subscribers, which is great, but now I want to get to 1,000, because that's where things really start to get pushed out there, and channels get well known. So with that being said, let's start with the update. So I had my duodenal switch surgery April 6th, 2019 in Tijuana, Mexico at Mi Doctor Hospital through a service called Mexico Bariatric Center. And if you're interested in getting a discount through them, if you're thinking about going out of the country, pay attention to the end of the video. I do have a link down below that you can take a look at as well. My heaviest weight pre-surgery was 378 pounds. And my surgery weight, which is after that pre-operation diet, was 363 pounds. Okay, I am currently at 249 pounds, so 129-ish, 129 pounds-ish, around that. So it's like a small woman lost in weight so far. And let's just say we count March is like an extra, or at least half a month, because of the pre-operation stuff. So April, May, June, July. April, May, June, July. Can't even do this. April, May, June, July, August, September. So pretty much at the halfway point right now, as we're going through this, because we're kind of approaching the end of September, and 130 pounds. I think my goal weight is to be somewhere around the 200 mark. So I mean, 40, 45, 49 more pounds to go. Can't, honestly, can't complain with any of that. It's just a good strong feeling that I'm having right now. Now, with that being said, a couple things I want to talk about for this week's video, because this week's video kind of is like 2 weeks worth of stuff. And boy, I'm going to tell you a couple things I've started to notice lately. All right, so first of all, breakfast. Let's talk about the B word, okay? Breakfast. If you're a breakfast person, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to enjoy this surgery too much. I don't know what it is, and it might just be me. Like everybody's experience with post-bariatric surgery is a little bit different. There are certain commonalities which you can kind of pick up on, but some nuances that definitely are individual. I don't know if this is a niche thing to me, because I don't hear anybody else kind of talking about it, but I have a big problem eating breakfast. And what I mean is like if I try and eat actual food for breakfast, like right when I wake up, probably within like an hour and a half of waking up, I don't feel good. I don't feel good at all. I just I can eat like maybe 4 or 5 bites and call it done. And might have something to do with the fact that nothing's been in my stomach all night, and my stomach's like, oh shoot, like we're not awake enough to tolerate food just yet, those kind of things. So for me, I'm like, I honestly have diverted to like yogurts and protein shakes for breakfast. Not shakes plural, but like in general, like one protein shake for breakfast. And then that gets me to around like, let's say I have breakfast around 8 o'clock, 8:15, and then that can get me to like 10:30 or 11 without any kind of consequences or issues. And I can choose to either wait till lunch to actually have a real bite to eat, or I can have another protein shake, and it'll get me to like 12:30, and then I'll eat regular food at around that time. So, that brings me to my next theme, is that I think one of the things that has made my journey so successful in terms of weight loss so far, knock on wood obviously, is that, I have been doing my due diligence on making sure to cutting out sugar almost completely from my diet. Okay, so there are some things that will have sugar in them off and on, but like I don't eat chocolate, I don't eat sweets, just like when I go out to the bar, I do like a vodka with regular water and a spritz of cranberry. So the sugar content is very minimal in comparison to like a full thing of cranberry. And let me just tell you, if you're a drinker, I can drink less now, than I did even when I did my alcohol test video back 8 weeks after surgery. So just know that like the lighter you get, the more this alcohol stuff is going to affect you. And just because you may have a decent tolerance versus actual being drunk, like the level of being drunk, like those are two separate things. I don't know a lot of people know that. Like your body is still just as drunk, from the same amount of alcohol as 4 drinks is still 4 drinks. They're going to be just as drunk blood alcohol content wise. But tolerance allows you to function better while being drunk. Okay, so there's a difference, but just because you can tolerate more alcohol doesn't mean you're any less drunk. Okay, so what I'm finding from when I'm drinking is that I will wake up with much worse hangovers with the same amount of alcohol. So like if I drank 3 drinks, 3 months ago, to an okay extent, those 3 drinks now get me to the point of being almost like not belligerent, but like definitely feeling it very, very good. And I don't know if I like that. Like it's drinking is one of those things I've always kind of partook in for a long time, and now I'm kind of like I don't know, like it's just not doing its thing for me anymore. And which honestly in the whole scope of health is probably not a bad thing. To maybe stop drinking or like minimize drinking as a whole. But, as it stands, like I just, try and stay away from sugar. So anyways, I digress. Point is what has been helping me get my weight down or having it be consistent because, once again, knock on wood, I haven't had any major plateauing. So I think the keys to that is that maintaining the protein. Okay, protein. Like get that stuff in your system. Okay, yes, it does take some money. If you have a problem with eating the right content, then go to protein shakes, or either pre-made or you make them yourself, whatever it may be. But just know that that's definitely an option for you. And take it from me, it helps. Okay, so I haven't had any major hair loss issues like some other people have. It's helped with my hunger control. Obviously you do need some solid foods throughout the day. You can't just live on protein shakes, but I mean they do fill me up and they do make me satiated for a while. Sugar, like completely cutting it out or as much as possible. So all of my drinks, all of my sweeteners are non-sugar based, and that seems to be a big part of it for me. I think that I had a lemonade once that someone gave me that had a good amount of sugar in it. I could barely drink, if the glass was yay high, I drank probably like this much of it at the top before I started feeling weird from all the sugar that was in it. Like sugar doesn't do it. Just some things I do. I don't do carbonated drinks still. So I haven't had a carbonated drink since before my surgery. And honestly, I don't really plan on it. Now, I've had some lightly carbonated things, and what I mean by that is like the bartender will accidentally do like 1 spritz of like soda water instead of just regular water or whatever, and there might be a few little tiny bubbles, but not truly full carbonated drinks, like no energy drinks, no sodas, none of that stuff. I haven't had a soda since before my surgery either. So all of these things kind of play into it. And let me just tell you that that right there for me is really key. Some of the things that I will be honest with you about is my eating habits. I'm not restricting myself in eating. Like I can go have a hamburger. I can go have nachos. I can go have the thing I'll say is that you want to be mindful of the amount of starch and carbohydrates that are within it. So like when I say nachos, I'm talking like if you want to get carne asada nachos with corn tortilla chips, you'll probably tolerate that okay. You can't eat a lot of it, but you can probably tolerate that. If there are flour tortilla chips, that's probably not a good idea. Same thing with like burritos and tacos and things like that. If they have a wheat wrap or, bowls, things like that, you're going to have a better time with those rather than, trying to eat it with the tortilla. And it sucks because I used to throw down tortillas like it was no one's business, but now it's just not sitting well. And fat content on food, don't even pay attention to it. For me, don't even pay attention to it, because at the end of the day, you're only absorbing like 15 to 25% of the fat that you eat. Not to mention that you kind of need it for your consistency for your bowel movements, because if it's only all fiber, like, it's hard to go to the bathroom, all protein and stuff like that. So you need some fat to kind of help mix things up and have things come out easier, if you want to talk that way. But what I will say is that the thing that my only piece of advice is, if you're kind of getting in your own head here about food, take a step back and look at what you're eating as far as the sugar content. Okay, like, are you trying to eat cookies? Are you still trying to put sweets? Are you still doing chocolate? Are you still trying to do all of those kind of sweet stuff and wondering why you're not being successful? Well, here's the thing. All of those sugar-based things, you still absorb those the same amount like that you did pre-surgery. So why would you want to do that? Like, why? When you eat a donut, for example, or a Cinnabon at the mall, if you do go there, I mean, I wouldn't. First of all, it's very starchy, like it's carbohydrates, and then you also have simple carbohydrates as a big part of that. All the simple carbohydrates absorb 100% of the calories. Like, there's literally no benefit for the surgery if you're going to continue eating those kind of sugary items. Okay. Where you're going to find the benefit is when you're talking about protein and fats. Okay, that's where the surgery really kind of takes hold. Now, remember, for some of you who may not know a lot about the duodenal switch surgery, let me be very clear. The first part of it is the gastric sleeve. So we have the same kind of restriction that you would have if you just had the VSG surgery. So a lot of the weight successes that the good VSGers will follow is like content and portion control, and that's also a big part of it. Is like, you can't overeat. Like, well, you can, but then you're gonna make your surgery ineffective. So small 6 to 8 ounces of protein, you call it good, or whatever you need to do it, but you want to make sure that you're protein filling first, and all that other junk is after the fact. Okay, if you have room, and most likely you won't. You follow that line, you're gonna lose weight. I mean, it's just simple math. I mean, your body gets the protein that it needs to survive, and then you're not eating all that other crap, and you're burning pretty clean, and all that's good. Some people sometimes ask about artificial sweeteners. Look, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian. What I can tell you is if it's not sugar, I'm okay with it. Okay, and honestly, when I had my surgery and doctors were giving me drinks like, sugar-free Gatorade and things like that, they were saying it's fine, it's all good, and I'm going to trust that. That's whether or not, in the end of the day, in hindsight, everything's is always good for you, like, that remains to be seen. But in comparison to regular sugar, yes, it is better for you, in my opinion. So, that's why you'll see me drinking the Powerade Zeros and a bunch of other things that don't have any sugar-based content in there, and that seems to be working well. Water intake, I'm going to tell you right now, is a very, very important aspect. Refreshing, and that's really hard to do, considering you still don't drink when you eat. Now, I have been closing the window a little bit more on the sides of my meals, so I can drink up and right up close to when I start to eat, and then 5 to 10 minutes after I'm done eating. But during the actual meal itself, I still don't drink any water, or any liquids for that matter. So if you're not following that, that's also could probably be a problem, because what that liquid does when you're eating is it forces things through you faster, which if you have the DS, which can make you go to the bathroom, which is the whole other type of video. But on top of that, it also creates more space because it's pushing things through you quicker, and that means you're not going to feel full, and you're not going to, and you could possibly overeat by putting more food and backfilling all of that. So just be mindful. So sorry this video is so long, but I wanted to make sure to give a proper update. I did take some videos of some of the stuff I was eating as I went through that. I didn't have a lot of video, like it was maybe a couple minutes worth of video content wise, so I'm gonna continue adding on to that and kind of showing you guys what I eat when I'm traveling and when I'm out and about, and that way you guys can get a good sense and an idea of what type of foods I've been doing and still having been successful. And so that'll be good. Also, this will include, you know, fast food options where like you can just roll up, get something, and go if you're on the move like I am all the time. So once again, I'm so blessed that I made the decision to do the surgery. It's, you know, a night and day difference. I get comments all the time about my weight and what have you, and you know, some of these shirts that I got, like they were a little snug and like didn't fit as well now, or you know, fitting okay and or loose. And like I wasn't able to button this when I first got it. Now I can, and so it's all of these little tiny things are changing. So I mean, I'm down to I can fit into size 36 jeans, 36 dress pants pretty easily now. Some of the sizes are a little snug, but I'd still fit them. They're still buttoned. Like, they're functional. They're functional pants. So I really cannot complain in regard to where I'm at. So, if you like this video, thank you so much for watching. And if you did like this video, please make sure that you click that like button down below. And if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps out. Or share this channel with friends. Anybody who's interested in maybe talking about weight loss surgery. A lot of people don't even know about the DS surgery. They tend to go with the bypass or the VSG as traditionals and standbys and things like that. So just know that you know, sharing that love gets the word out. And then lastly, if you're looking at any type of bariatric surgery, any type of surgery whatsoever, and you're not looking to do it within the United States because you either don't have an insurance that covers it or you're just trying to do it out of pocket or whatever it may be, I went through a service called Mexico Bariatric Center, and because I have a YouTube channel, I have negotiated a partnership with them where it gives you guys a discount on your surgeries. Surprise, it's crazy. I didn't have that luxury. You know, depending on the surgery that you get, the price of that like will vary, and there'll be a discount appropriately within that zone to that. So I don't have a precise amount for you, but I do know it is a surgery discount. Regardless, and what's cool about that is that, you know, that can help, you know, pay for your flight down to San Diego and things like that. So, you know, it just takes that extra added costs of doing some of that with you. If you haven't looked at one of my videos doing a review on Mexico Bariatric Center, I'll put a link down below as well, just so you guys can get a sense of what that's like and what that would be like. So, with that being said, that's it. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And I promise it'll be next week. I'll get them done. Won't be quite as long as this one, but we'll get it done. So, once again, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.